'cause I'm slipping into the hot takes, and I'm trying to keep from going under. Baby, you keep the temperature higher, 'cause it's the name on the front. Burning Up, Jonas Brothers.
Oh, I don't even know if I know that song.
I know that song. I couldn't tell you who sang it.
I didn't really plan anything.
That's
why
a good.
I didn't have the second. I didn't have the second lyric.
I thought it was something else after the first line, but like something that is in my head, but I can't. Now it's gonna bother me. All right, we're not gonna be able to dwell on this.
No,
it's not gonna be realistic.
No,
I'm gonna be tortured this whole podcast.
Yeah.
So. All right, Jonas Brothers kicking us off.
Yeah.
I wasn't here last week, so I have no idea what you guys talked about.
Yeah, so yes, I wanted to start off with a boy band because the Leafs just signed a whole band of boys.
Oh yeah, and rumors of more.
And yeah, we could have the real heartthrob Jumbo Joe coming in soon.
I would love it.
That would be unbelievable. But let's start off. You want to go in chronological order on when they signed? Wayne Simmons first. Let's talk about that. That was pretty much already kind of assumed because before free agency, he had said, he was like, "Oh, if the Leafs want me, I'm there." Like he pretty much said that.
Yeah.
So everybody, and he's only 31. People forget that. He's young. I mean, he didn't have a great year last year, but
He was hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt. He is a past 30-goal scorer. I believe he has 2 30-goal seasons.
Yeah.
So he can score when he needs to. He adds a little grit. He adds a little grind. And I really, really like this signing for the Leafs. I think he can add almost what you lost with Kadri, that fuck you attitude that we just didn't have out there. And I really liked the signing, especially for 1.5.
I thought that was a little bit more than I was comfortable with, but
not me though, because
it's not too bad. I mean, dude, the guy
in retrospect, although we are doing in chronological order, in retrospect, now that we've traded Johnson, it's whatever.
What are you looking at here? I think
he's 2 years removed from 24 goals. I know he didn't have a good year last year.
No, but the year before that he had 25, and then 24 the year before.
Do you know what Wayne Simmons really improves for the Leafs is our second power play.
Yeah.
You stick him in front of the net. I like that a lot.
And then you could even if things aren't working, you're not. I don't think it hurts to put him up on the first power play
Tyson
sometimes.
Barrie there,
just wasting shots.
Finally, we get Riley on the first power play. Which I love.
What would you set the over under on Wayne Simmons goals for this season?
15.
I was gonna
say 18.
A couple people at work, and they said he's getting they were single digit goals.
Oh, no way.
I was he's getting I wouldn't be shocked if he gets 20.
Do you want to know why though? It's because it is the safe thing to undervalue anybody the Leafs signs because it's safe. Because then it's you thought he was gonna be sick, you're just a biased Leafs fan. So many times to almost counteract the crazy Leafs fans, people that try to appear rational will undervalue.
But I don't think he's not getting 30 goals.
He was
he's not I don't think it's that crazy though. The guy's on the second power play and he's on the third line that he has 20 goals and 11 assists, 31 points. Is that crazy?
Well, he had 9.
But a single digit goals I think is a little crazy. I think he's getting more than that
because he was
just
on pace
purely based.
No, that's what I'm saying. I agree.
Yeah.
He was on pace for 10 last year playing in Buffalo and New Jersey, right? 2 brutal teams, and he was on pace for double digits. So I think his offense is only going to go up playing for the Leafs.
Yeah. Especially if you give him those minutes.
And if he finds some time on the first power play too, which isn't out of the realm of possibility.
Injuries
or if
definitely lead to him.
If it's not going, you'd maybe take Nylander off, throw Simmons in front of the net.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you just have Nylander kind of driving the play like Marner would on the second power play from the board side, right?
With Jumbo Joe working
in the front of the net.
Working the wall.
Ooh, you made my nether regions tingle a little bit there.
But yeah, it's hard to hate that signing. Also,
I don't like that word nether regions. I don't like that I just used that.
We'll edit it out.
It's kind of lame.
No, we're not.
In his first media availability too, he said he's going to punch people in the face, which is good. That's always a good one. He basically said if anybody touches any of the Leafs, I'm going to punch their face.
Any of the big boys.
Any of the big boys, I'll punch their face.
He's
hometown guy too.
Scarborough,
exactly. So it's
born and bred. He's got some grit.
Yeah.
He's got some Toronto
Also,
grit.
one thing I was thinking about too, this is kind of outside of hockey, maybe a bigger thing. I don't think it hurts with the Hockey Diversity Alliance launching this year to have a player who's part of that alliance in the biggest market. Like I think that's probably a really good thing for them. That's probably flying under the radar. The league. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's like another way that he replaces Kadri on the Leafs.
Yeah, because he was a big part of that.
Big part of that.
So next in line would be TJ Brody, the big signing. I really like this signing. I was a little skeptical before I saw the underlying numbers. I thought, okay, we got another Gardner or Barry, but turns out he's a lot better defensively than both of them.
And he can play the right side, which I guess Barry did.
Yeah, and he plays the right side. And it's not just that he can, it's his preference. Mm-hmm. Which is a big difference. Which is a big difference.
Because Muzzin can play the right side,
but he prefers but he prefers the left.
Brody's been playing on the right side of Giordano basically the last 5 years in Calgary. So,
and Giordano won a Norris playing next to him.
And Giordano, and like Riley, like similar style of player, like D-man with offensive upside.
Do you think that's the top line?
I think it is. I think there's a chance he plays with Muzzin though.
Yeah.
I think you could go like
Hall is being shopped.
Yeah, but then
you got a nice you could. Like Riley Brody's a nice top pairing with like offensive upside, and then if you want like a good shutdown pairing, you can just go Muzzin Brody.
Yeah,
like you have like flexibility now, right? I didn't know that Hall was being shopped.
Yeah, Hall and Dermott are apparently currently being shopped.
My problem with that is if you shop Hall, then you're just in the same problem with your right side.
It's being shopped, and he could easily still be on the Leafs. Apparently his name's been out there in talks.
But I just think
whether those deals go through or not, I don't mind him being shopped.
Nobody's taking that contract, I don't think. 3 years at $2 million in this economy, I don't think anybody's going to take that. In this economy, I don't think anybody's going to take that.
I also don't think
he means more to the Leafs. He's more valuable to the Leafs than anybody else.
I like the Muzzin Hall pairing.
Me too.
I do too.
I would just go Riley Brody, Muzzin Hall, player third pairing 12 minutes a game.
And you know what? Just as a human being, I don't like too much change.
You're kind of right.
I want a little bit of a safety blanket. The Muzzin Hall thing. I liked them as a pair last year. Just keep them. You know.
Also eliminates the
devastating.
Remember the biggest problem.
The Toronto Raptors title told me that change is always good.
Yeah.
It is, but too much change can be a detriment.
Dude, also, if you want to look at the Blue Jays teams that won World Series, that was
the difference between 93 and 92 is insane.
The year before it was a completely different
18
team.
Of 25.
I think that's why I said on a human level though,
I agree with you on a human level.
On an analyst
but
level.
The history of Toronto sports shows trade your team. if you can get something for it.
The thing
speaking of which, we traded Janssen, I believe, in chronological order. That's what happened next.
Which is basically a cap.
So let's get into that.
Although
Joey Anderson, apparently he's been very underutilized.
Kind of like their Jeremy Bracco.
I don't know.
He kind of just slides into that role, I think.
He's a different player.
Yeah, but I just mean the guy who never got a shot, who was kind of a wish he got more.
The reason he didn't get a shot is because they have tons of those same players. They have Jesper Bratt, they have Miles Wood, they traded Blake Coleman. Those are all very similar type grit and grind wingers that are big bodies. Miles Wood isn't big, but he plays big because he's tough. So they're those grit grinders that are just hard to play against. And he just didn't have a spot. I don't know. Rachel Dory, you guys know who that is? Yeah, she worked for the Devils organization, and she was talking about how he was always a guy that she advocated for behind the scenes in the front office, and how he was a guy that just created those intangibles that you don't really see on the stat sheet, which is really what the Leafs were missing. I'm not going to go too far into a Joey Anderson analysis because I don't know that much, and
I think he becomes anything, that's just a bonus in that trade. That was we're getting that was a get rid of that contract, right?
And you know what? Everybody Janssen was good, but he wasn't as good as people make him out to be.
And he could never stay healthy, right?
If you really look at the numbers, he really wasn't as good, especially when we needed him to be good. A lot of the time, he scored against a lot of bad teams.
And he was playing with Matthews a lot, too, which kind of inflated his numbers.
He could still end up being good, but I think
he's a talented player.
I think it's way more likely that he's the better player in that trade. Right?
This team needs a Wayne Simmons more than it needs an Andreas Janssen, though.
Yeah.
At this point.
That's what... And especially for $2 million less.
Yeah.
I'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah, and I think they probably would have preferred to trade Kerfoot, but if you trade Kerfoot, then you need another center. Mm-hmm. Whether or not Kerfoot actually is a center, but in theory, he's a center.
Well,
and I think Johnson, nobody else. I don't think anybody wants Kerfoot.
Jumbo
to be honest.
discussion.
Yeah, well.
But Kerfoot can play the wing too.
Yeah, he can. Yeah,
He can play like Tavares and Martin.
Better on the wing in my mind. But again, that leaves a huge hole at the third line center for me. Who was next? Was Bogosian next?
Next was Stanley Cup champion
Zach
Bogosian.
Who apparently they tried to sign him. They were like gonna sign him, and then the David Ayres thing happened, and Dubas is like, "No, we're not doing this anymore. We're just gonna go with young guys." So apparently they had a deal in place to bring him in last year after he got released from Buffalo. And then David Ayres just lit them up, and
but you know what?
Put a stop to it.
Again, I don't mind the signing at all.
No,
I really don't, because now we have options on that third pairing. I know I always talk about how like, okay, the third pairing, it's really not that like, it's not that like game breaking. Like you're not gonna be like, oh, like, but like.
Well, you need steady hands. You just
need
steady hands.
They would have won the cup if they had a better third pair.
That can chew up,
like, you know what I mean?
10 minutes.
Like, so I'm a big proponent of put Sandin on that third pairing, glue him to that third pairing, and then cycle in a mix of Dermott, Bogosian, and
Lehtinen.
Yeah, Lehtinen.
Apparently they're really high on Lehtinen. They think he might play in the top 4, which would be.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't watch KHL, so
no.
I'm not gonna.
He's putting up points.
Yeah,
he's putting up points,
which is hard to do in the KHL.
Yeah,
like
I just don't have
the leading scorer gets like 20 points a year.
I just don't have I don't have the breadth of knowledge on Mikko Lehtinen as of right now, so I'm not gonna put a stamp of approval or disapproval on him right now. I'm just gonna say I like the fact that we have options that we can move in and out based on like almost riding the hot hand, and then we have a steady top 4.
They've got
hopefully in Riley, Brody, Muzzin, and Hall.
Yeah, they've got 8.
I like that a lot, and then we can just give Sandin the chance to fucking.
I think there's honestly, I think they might just leave him in Sweden just because I don't know if he's gonna play ahead of Dermott. And I don't think he plays ahead of Bogosian.
I don't like
and
that. I don't like it.
Unless there's like if there's an AHL, then he'll probably play here. But
he's like graduated from the AHL. He's better than the AHL now.
Do you think?
Yeah.
He
played very well last year.
He's only played 7 NHL games, right? Or I guess like 13 NHL games.
Yeah, but when do you put him in? Like he's a first round pick from 3 years ago. He wasn't lost in those 7 NHL games. He wasn't unbelievable, but again, you play 7,
like he's only
8, 9 minutes on the third pair. But you can make it work and just have him develop at a better click.
He played 28 NHL games too.
You can have him. You can have him develop at a higher click if you throw him into the fire a little bit.
He also hasn't played a full season in the AHL yet too.
Okay.
So I think you gotta. I don't know. In my mind, I don't know if you want to rush him here.
I mean, I just don't think that's really rushing him if you're throwing him on the third line. And especially, I mean, maybe,
but I think you have
maybe
guys
you don't staple him to the third line, but you have him playing NHL games.
You have I think the problem is they have guys who are better than him. Like Dermott is better than him.
Is he though?
I think he is.
I don't think so.
And I think they think that Lettinen's better than him. Yeah. So it's going to be hard for him to find ice time. And if there's no AHL,
the way I look at it, it also is the COVID situation. I agree with you. Depending on the COVID situation, if it's still as serious once January 1st hits, when they're aiming for the league to start, if it's still that serious, maybe you do leave him in Sweden. I don't know, because I don't know what the state of the world is going to be like at that point. But I'm going to die on this hill that I think you get Sandin in because his upside is miles higher than Dermott. And I just don't give a shit about the third line.
Yeah, but like his argument though is like, is it doing more for his upside to be like playing every other game or just playing full time in Sweden?
But I think he's proven that he can play at a higher level than he would in Sweden, which is the AHL.
But would you rather
there might not be an AHL.
Exactly.
So the option is have him sit in the press box.
So just let him come to the Leafs.
But would you rather him playing 10 minutes a night, or would you rather him playing like 25 minutes a night?
Learning how to be a pro in the NHL around other pros, like learning from guys like TJ Brody and Morgan Riley, while you still have them. I like having him here. I think it would be beneficial for his. I mean, obviously it's subjective, like what somebody's player development. Every player is different. I don't know him personally, so it's like I'm not going to be able to say like what concretely is going to be his best option for development. I just feel like he's an exciting enough player that you should want to have him around your organization. And if there's no AHL, just throw him on that third pairing or let him sit in the press box and learn. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to die on this hill.
It is good to have a conversation where we're talking about the Leafs depth on defense now, where it's not like, because I remember that we would always talk last year about mixing up the pairs, and then the question we'd always come to would be like, well, where do we put CC?
Yeah,
because it's like he was just a huge exactly. He was like a huge anchor. You couldn't do anything because you had to play him with Riley.
Honestly, Tyson Barrie was like just as much
you're right. But he at least had the offensive upside where it's like maybe he'll do something tonight. Yeah, and like we were saying, Brody's going to be the best. If he plays with Riley, he's the best partner Riley's had since he's been here.
Yep.
It's him or like he's competing with Ron Hainsey, right?
Yeah.
Like it's.
I think he's better than Ron Hainsey.
Yeah, he is. No, he is. He hands down is.
If he doesn't end up being better than Ron Hainsey, that's a disaster.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking too when they made this sign, they also signed Jamie Vesey. I don't know if you want to get into Vesey at all.
Yeah, he was the next one.
Do you want to get into?
I wanted to talk. Yeah, I had a little intro prepared.
Okay, I've got one more thing about Brody, and then we'll go to.
Yeah, Leafs Reddit's 2016 sweetheart, Jimmy Vesey. He was going to change the whole franchise.
Yeah. So the one thing with Brody though, does this change how? Does this give Dubas like a redo on the Kadri trade? Does it like change? Does it make it more defensible?
It's not a redo
because.
But,
so I don't know, like, because when they tried to trade for, they were trying to trade for TJ Brody.
I've already said my take. Like that trade, he doesn't need to. I don't need him to defend that trade because at the time no one said it was bad.
But my point was when they made that trade, originally they were trying to trade for Brody from Calgary, and Kadri wouldn't go to Calgary.
I thought Brody didn't want to come here.
No, it was Kadri wouldn't waive.
Refused to go to Calgary. I don't think so.
I think I don't think it obviously doesn't change what they did, but I think it gives them maybe a bit of an out.
I think depending on how Brody plays,
yeah, exactly.
Like you can make it maybe look a little better, but I'd still like the trade was a disaster. Like that's just the reality of the situation. The trade was a disaster. I think Dubas I like the way Dubas handles himself though. I think he sees his mistakes, he learns from his mistakes, and he's willing to change. He's not pig-headed and
I think
stubborn.
He's clearly
he's an aggressive GM. When he sees something he wants, he goes and gets
definitely changing the style of the team.
A little, yeah,
for
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I think it has nothing to do with it. Personally, I think that trade was bad. He needed to learn from it, and now he signed a different defenseman. Hopefully, works out better than Tyson Barrie. But I don't equate those two.
No. But I just think you can say like this is why he was trying to make that trade. This is why he was trying to trade Kadri because he got this is the player he was looking for.
Yeah, but then it looks bad when you settle.
But Tyson Barrie isn't the same kind of player.
No, you're right.
So
you're right.
It doesn't really make it defensible.
I think when what they were
you got like a different kind of player.
With what they were trying to do though, I think there were only a handful of defensemen that fit, and then I guess you had to find somebody that wasn't on Kadri's list of teams I think he had like a modified no trade, and that's why they were able to get him to Colorado.
Right.
So
he was handcuffed a little bit, but.
So yeah, Jimmy Vesey, he's a good little player. I mean, he's had he got 18 goals last year?
No, he had 8 last year.
8 and then
16, 17, 17 the years before.
Not bad.
Like he went to Buffalo and then obviously everything just like it does with everybody, everything just went away.
Not bad. I mean, yeah, he's a low risk, potentially high reward signing.
Like he could be your third line left winger.
I have no issue with it.
Like it's him and Nick Robertson for the.
Robertson will get that spot.
You might, but again, young player. He didn't look. I don't know. He didn't blow me away in the bubble,
right?
Is
he supposed to?
No, exactly. Right, but like, if you have VC on that line, they might be better.
But if there's no AHL,
VC also played with Kerfoot.
Oh no, Robertson's gonna be in the lineup.
That's what
he's my third, fourth line. It's just which line are you on?
I think you put him on the third line.
Like. Because you got like Simmons,
if your third line could be Simmons, VC, Kerfoot.
Yeah.
Because VC and Kerfoot played together in college too, at Harvard.
Yeah, so I'd lean towards Robertson on that third line. That's just me.
I think that's ultimately what they'll do.
Yeah, and then VC, like he's got the frame and the body to produce like a little bit of a more grindy type of play. You throw that on your fourth line.
He does. Bad. He's like kind of like Engvall though, where he doesn't really play.
That's
like that.
a guy like he's probably not like he's off the team.
Engvall, yeah.
Well, he's another guy that they're shopping.
Yeah, no one's taking
there's
that
no spot.
contract
There's no spot for him though. And then how are you gonna trade that contract? I don't know what it's gonna. I guess he'll be like a guy. He'll play like half the games. Maybe.
You gotta trade him to a team that's trying to hit the floor.
They could send him down too and just. It'll only like be a couple 100,000 on their.
Is that the last one on the list? There?
It is, yeah.
And then now it's like the buzz of
Aaron Dell. We're gonna talk about Aaron Dell.
Fuck that. We don't need to talk about that.
Aaron Dell is just a safety blanket incled in
which is good.
I'm actually
something they never
pissed that you just brought up Aaron Dell on this episode. Wow. The buzz now is that members of the Leafs roster have been contacting Joe Thornton in the last few days, making their pitch about why he should sign and be a part of a potential Leafs Stanley Cup run.
Yeah,
because apparently Thornton was pissed last year they didn't get traded. He watched his buddy Barclay Goodrow get traded at the deadline, win the Stanley Cup.
Said that though, it's apparently down to the Sharks and Leafs as the two teams he's going to sign with, so he's not really that pissed.
Right.
Well, you got to just show Patrick Marleau that you've always been the alpha.
If he signs with the Sharks, he can still get traded.
I guess.
And when you go to the Leafs, you win the cup, and he doesn't. That's just it. That's all you got to do.
How about this? Like, obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with Thornton, but what about the last couple of years? The amount of Southern Ontario guys that are signing with the Leafs. That used to be a thing that they were like, no one wanted to do that. Like Muzzin, Tavares, Simmons, Brody, Spezza. Now potentially Thornton is interested. Seems like that is a kind of that narrative.
We're back to like the early 2000s where all the old guys are coming home.
Yeah, but that was those guys were like 40.
Yeah.
Well, Thornton would qualify.
100%.
Like none of those
qualifies too.
Thornton and Spezza. None of those other guys are like Brody and Tavares and Muzzin are
all
in their prime.
Yeah.
Right. Simmons is maybe a little past.
He's past.
But he's past.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's still not that old.
No.
It's not like 40.
31. I'm like you don't need to put him in a home yet.
He's playing in like Davos right now.
Yeah, I didn't realize he lives.
Yeah,
in
he lives.
I guess because his wife is from there.
He met her like the lockout year. He went to play for Davos, and then he met her, and then he just lives there in the off season.
I love a love story.
Apparently, anytime there's a lockout, he just goes. They're like, you can come play with us anytime you want. Apparently, his plan is to like play there. He's gonna retire there and like play till he's 50. Jesus. Pretty good life.
Loves the game.
Good I love Joe Thornton.
I love him too. I just, in a hockey sense, I don't totally know where he fits because I don't.
He's your third line center.
You think he's good enough to do that still?
Dude, he got more points than Kerfoot.
Yeah. I mean, if that's where he's gonna play,
and
maybe
he's
like
dude power play.
I don't know if you can
maybe fourth line.
Yeah, but then what Spezza's
doing?
doing?
Fourth line.
Like
Spezza has played the wing as well, though.
Are you gonna go with Spezza and Thornton out there? That is a
maybe
not
every game.
Yeah.
Dude,
then I don't like. Is Joe Thornton going to come here if he's only going to play 60 games?
Yeah, he's a Toronto boy.
Yeah,
wants to win a cup with us. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a rough fit.
Dude, he played 16 minutes a game last year.
Yeah, I know. Like I just don't know. But
he put up 31 points playing with like Kevin Labanc.
Yeah, not a very good team too.
Kevin Labanc is a very good player.
Like, and that team was shit.
He was good with the Barrie Colts.
And he's also a year removed from 16 goals, 51 point season.
Yeah.
Where he's playing like,
but again, he's forward at some point.
Like he's better than Spezza.
He is. But my point is, you already have Spezza. Like I don't think. Are you just gonna cut Spezza now that you have Thornton?
But I think you're like Spezza's a guy who's playing. Spezza's gonna play like 8 minutes a game. Thornton's a guy who's gonna play like decent minutes.
Another guy
you
could put on your second power play.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and he's dangerous.
He's still got that vision.
Yeah. Maybe you've talked me into it a little bit here, but
it's just
he's not this like he's significantly better than Jason Spezza.
Yeah,
it's just nothing.
He is.
It's nothing that you're going. It's nothing that's going to turn the tides of our cap situation either.
No, and it does help in the locker room too. It seems like they've made a concerted effort to get guys who are more vocal because Bogosian's one of those guys.
They have
would be one of those guys.
They have guys now that I'm not saying that this is like we've changed this into like a Stanley Cup winning roster, but they have guys on the team now that I can picture being
lifting
part of being part of a deep playoff run. Like I can picture like a series in the conference finals where like Wayne Simmons is like grinding it out. Right? Like they didn't really have. I couldn't picture Andreas Janssen playing in like a conference finals game. Mm-hmm. Like they have guys who I can imagine doing that now.
Yeah, I think one thing with Bogosian too that people get lost on. I know I'm jumping all over the place here. He's only 30. Like in my mind, at least, he seems more like a guy who's like closer to Thornton's age than he is to. Like he's closer to Austin Matthews than he is to Joe Thornton age-wise, which is kind of crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So another guy that is
So was
talking some shit right now is Eugene Melnick.
Do you want to talk about, hold on, just their cap situation too? Because they've got...
Sure, we got $4 million left, you said?
It's like well, I think it's technically 400,000, but they can send 3 guys down and get it up to about 3.5.
Yep.
But...
That's another guy we didn't talk about. Where's Mikheyev?
They've got to, they've got to sign Mikheyev still. They've got to sign Dermott still. I don't think
your left
he's
wing.
Your second. He's playing with. He's on Tavares and Martin's.
So your left wing,
now.
as of right now, would be
Hyman,
Robertson, Mikheyev, and
VC. Yeah.
Nylander played the left side a lot too last year.
He won't next year.
Maybe not. But they have.
Without Kapanen, he's stapled to that right side.
They have Engvall too on the left side if you want to throw him up there.
I don't.
Well, you're a lot like so. Well, you got Hyman, Matthews, Nylander, Mikheyev, Tavares, Marner, and then the third line we just talked about could be Robertson, Kerfoot, Simmons,
or like VC.
Or VC. They can, and then your fourth line's VC, Spezza. Who's on the right side?
On the right side, Travis Boyd. You're a big Travis Boyd fan?
There's got to be a better option than that.
Here, let me get up the cap.
Joey Anderson?
Yeah, Joey Anderson. Oh, you know who we also left out? Barabanov.
Oh,
who's
yeah.
a guy that they're pretty high on.
He could.
Who will probably factor in at some point.
They have they got a number of guys they can spot in on the third and fourth lines, which is not a bad problem to have, especially with the team that is the cap issues.
So they've got. We also don't know what the roster is going to look like if they're going to have some kind of taxi squad situation, which would really benefit them.
Yeah.
If there is like 3 guys you can have out there that don't count against the cap.
This is just me throwing would you guys think maybe Korshkov gets a chance at that fourth line spot?
Yeah, I think there's a competition there with Korshkov, Barabanov, Engvall. Yeah, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Yeah. They did loan him to the KHL though, so maybe they'll just leave him there for the year.
I mean, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it is the last year of his deal this year, his rookie deal.
They got numerous options to.
Nick Patan is still on the team apparently.
I mean, Engvall's probably if they don't find a way to if they don't find a way to move Engvall, he's probably playing a lot of games just because of how much money.
Malgin's younger than I thought he was. He's only 23.
Yeah,
that's actually surprising to me. I thought he was like 26, 27. But yeah, so. That's the Leafs, really. I mean, we've covered most of it. But speaking of Canadian teams in Ontario, let's talk about Eugene Melnick.
A couple of owners that are spouting off.
Yeah, saying that the Senators will be Stanley Cup winners, not even just contenders.
I think the exact quote was, I truly believe we will be Stanley Cup winners within 4 years. 4 years.
Yeah. I don't mind it.
That's like an outrage.
I don't care
because
I like
the confidence, but it's
it's Jerry Jones-esque.
It's not like
you know what I mean.
I think my impression is that Cowboys fans like Jerry Jones.
Yeah, that's
Ottawa
true.
Senators fans hate Eugene Melnick. There isn't a more hated owner in sports.
Yeah, but if you got him, how can you hate a guy that's like just gassing?
Because he'll say that and won't spend their $55 million budget
in 4 years. This is only could be good for him. If they win the cup in 4 years, people remember that. If they don't, no one remembers.
No, I think they might. If they're picking first overall, someone will pull that back up.
Maybe, yeah. If they're still in last place.
And but if I'm a Sens fan, I'm pissed too because his biggest thing is he doesn't spend any money. And if he believes they're going to be cup winners within 4 years, you're going to have to spend more than $55 million.
Dude, I'm not defending Eugene Melnick. I don't think this is not I'm not what an egregious thing. I mean, he's just spouting off.
I guess.
I don't really care. It doesn't bother me at all.
He's trying to stoke the fire.
They
of
also
excitement.
Another thing that got leaked too with the Senators was on the Adidas website. They put up a picture of the new jersey with number 7 and the C. So Brady Tkachuk, is he going to be the next captain of the Ottawa Senators?
Interesting.
Yeah.
They leaked it.
Yeah, Adidas had it was Brady Tkachuk's jersey with a C on it on the
cool.
Adidas website, and I think it quickly got taken down. So
I like that. I don't mind that at all. I mean, I don't know how Shabbat is, but I probably would have leaned that way.
Yeah.
If I was a Sens fan, I would be Shabbat's the focal point of our team.
To me, that reeks of a team that you don't have a captain right now, kind of like the Leafs were 3 years ago, right?
Shabbat, I think Shabbat's their best player.
I think it's one of those two, but
yeah.
Maybe they just like the grit that Tkachuk brings a little bit more. Maybe he's more vocal in the locker room. Obviously, we're not there. Speaking of owners who are spouting off, Mrs. Foley's baby boy, Bill Foley was on the
all right.
was on the radio.
Mick's brother.
Yeah, was on the radio in I guess down in Vegas talking about the Nathan Schmidt deal to Vancouver. And I guess somebody asked him if they're worried about having to play him next year, and he just went, they're gonna be playing the Canadian division. We're not gonna play them.
I like that.
He said that.
He said that,
Yeah,
and he's an owner in the NHL.
I read
So
that
he knows.
So obviously nobody else has said anything about that, and I'm sure he got a stern talking to from Gary Bettman after that. But what do we think about this?
I love a
this.
Canadian division because it finally actually gives the Vancouver Canucks fans reason to hate the Leafs because we're gonna kick their ass every night.
Just me kind of speculating here what I would do. I think you do what baseball did, and you divide it into 4 divisions. You have the Canadian, West, Central, East, and you have 8 teams in the 3 American divisions. And
why not just North, South, East, West?
Because then time zones, that messes you up, right? Because you want to keep
I guess, but it's just like for...
No, yeah, you just go you'd go Canadian and then 3 in the States.
Because you want to keep the time zones the same.
And it's
so what I
like longer this way. Like it would be ridiculous to just have like a bunch of teams on the bottom.
Like the California teams would be playing like
Florida.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Florida would be in the East Coast.
Yeah. So it'd be like East,
and then you just have a chunk of them down here that are in the South.
There's no teams there though.
Yeah, you got the Anaheim Ducks, you got the LA Kings.
That would be the West.
But you do have a chunk down there.
Well, who's in the West then?
The West.
Those have to be all the West.
The West could be.
I'll get you.
The West could be Vegas, Colorado, St. Louis, Chicago.
St. Louis is like.
You're gonna call that the West, and then you're gonna call the California teams
because of all the teams on the East. The East is more. I don't know. I'm trying to make my take work, even though it was just off the cuff, and I had no thought.
Yeah, we know.
1, 2.
Like basically, what I would do is I would do it North, like a Canadian division, an East, a Central, and a West, and then you have 8 teams in the 3 American divisions, and then obviously the 7 up north, and then 4 teams in each division make the playoffs, and they play each other, and then the winners are your conference finals.
Here's your divisions right here. You've got the Canadian division with your 7 Canadian teams. Then you've got a Northeast division with the Boston Bruins, Buffalo Sabres, both New York teams, the Devils, the Flyers, the Penguins, and the Capitals. That takes out that corner.
Okay.
8 teams?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you've got a Central, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's
the rest.
Central plus Florida, I guess. You've got Detroit, Columbus, Carolina.
That's why that South works.
Florida, Tampa, Nashville, St. Louis, Chicago. And then you've got your West is over. Minnesota, Dallas.
See, what I would do is I would keep the Florida teams out east and move Buffalo and Pittsburgh into the Central.
Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah,
and that's just your Central division.
Yeah, I just thought Pittsburgh and Philly would be nice to have in the same division.
You're right.
But
Chicago, Pittsburgh would be cool too.
You could do that for sure. Yeah. That makes it easy. And then your West is like basically here over Minnesota, Dallas, and then all the West.
Man,
teams.
A Canadian division's fun.
And then the only thing with the Canadian division, I think they need to add the Hamilton Bulldogs and the Regina Pats, and then you just have the CFL playing in the NHL, and they play for the Grey Cup.
I was wondering where you're going with that. I would like them to play for the Grey Cup. That would be cool.
Because there was no CFL fans would hate that, I think.
Oh, they would hate
the thing that sucks
though
is if we're gonna get this Canadian division, it may be without fans, which it would be so much more fun if there was.
You're
fans.
right, but you're right.
It'd still get cool,
but maybe at some point they'll have fans. Maybe for the playoffs.
I think they'll probably will have fans. It'll just be there'll be 2,000 people in the stadium.
They could play outside too and have fans. I don't know if they want to do that.
Tickets will cost it'll be $10,000 for the worst seat.
Yeah.
Because only
billions of dollars.
So I think that would be fun. Like I said, I would do the playoffs where you have 4 teams in each division make the playoffs, and then you have playoffs within the divisions, and then the 4 winners.
That's how they
are the conference finals.
They used to do it way
back.
The
Smythe division.
The Leafs were in the West.
Yeah, they're playing
we were in a division with the Blackhawks and
the Red Wings, I think.
There was the Patrick division.
It
was all named after people.
Yeah.
Those were so stupid.
People loved that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. You hear the old timers at the bar.
We were alive.
They still call it the Smythe division.
When the Habs won the last time a Canadian team won the cup, that was a game away from being Leafs Habs.
The Gretzky high stick.
Yeah.
It makes me sick.
My dad is still pissed at Carey Fraser for that.
Yeah. Great times.
Speaking of another type of title, LeBron's fourth title. Asterisk.
Putting the asterisk.
Yeah, so he wins the fourth title and fourth Finals MVP. As well, I mean, he kind of, according to Skip Bayless, he kind of stole it from Rondo.
That was insane. Rondo making his case.
He's my favorite, man. I love the like blatant, like a bit like the blatant like disregard for like any of your takes being bad. Like he's just so good. He's so good. He's the best spin zone artist in the entire world.
But no one agree. I don't know. If you're a spin zone though, you have to like spin it and people are like, holy shit, I actually agree. Like
No.
everyone's like, he's an idiot.
No, because
like he has no respect in
because
the
he
industry.
can say no, 100 no, but I don't think any spin zone artist has like respect of the industry.
I think Stephen A. Smith is respected.
He's not really a spin zone artist.
We got a little NHL news here.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is worth interrupting this conversation, but the Ottawa Senators have signed Evgeny Dadonov to
that's a good signing.
$5 million deal.
$5 million for how many years? 1 year?
3 year, $15 million.
That's a good signing.
Yeah. So
I mean, I wish.
Oh, did you guys last week?
I wish you would have respected the news desk.
I know,
And sent
sorry.
It over
Did
to
you guys
me.
talk about how Josh Anderson's the highest paid player in the NHL last week?
What?
Okay. That contract is insane.
Yeah, that is
Oh,
insane.
yeah.
Like,
They
signed a guy who's way better for way less after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Gallagher.
Toffoli.
Toffoli.
How
Yeah.
Toffoli gets less money than him. It's like it's.
I don't know. We didn't talk about this either, but when he was traded for Domi, apparently they were golfing together when they found out, which is kind of crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that contract's gonna come back, and that's gonna be the Lucic contract, I think, in 2 years.
Yeah, but
That Josh Anderson deal.
back to LeBron.
Yeah, sorry guys.
And his legacy. What do you guys think? Do you think this changes the GOAT conversation? I know you guys wanted to maybe even lead this episode off with that, so I think you guys definitely have some takes. I don't really have a take. I don't know if it really changes anything for me. I think that it's a different era and it's hard to compare.
I don't think it.
And Stephen A. Smith says that LeBron's playing in the softest era in the history of basketball, with the most tools to dominate physically.
See, the thing about that, I think we're gonna have that exact same conversation 20 years from now with whoever the next LeBron is, about how they're playing in the softest era, but like things just get softer as time goes on. Yeah.
I think my take. I didn't even hear what he said.
He said, yeah, when we're having the Siakam LeBron debate in 20 years.
He's like already like 26. I think LeBron will have he's gonna have the best NBA career ever.
Yeah.
At the end, but I still think, this is a debate, but in my opinion, like if you're looking at who at their peak, I think there's maybe even more than one guy who could say was better at their peak than LeBron, and I think there's one for sure.
Do you want me to?
I
think. Want me to give you what will make LeBron the GOAT?
Hold on. I think LeBron is the best player to build a team around. If you have a team built around LeBron, it's going to be the most successful it can be.
Well, you can make cases of Bill Russell.
Okay. I don't know much about Bill Russell's game, but
Paul Pierce, the truth.
Bird and you could make Bird and Magic cases too.
I just think the way LeBron...
it's really hard to compare eras.
Of course it is. But I just think the way LeBron can dominate offensively and still facilitate...
Yeah, this is the thing, though. There's no... And this is... Obviously, I didn't know because I wasn't old enough when Michael Jordan was in his peak. I was a little kid at the end. But you hear everyone talk about it. Even Zach Lowe wrote this really good, and he's pretty reasonable guy.
Yeah.
He has reasonable takes. He does, and I've never seen him pick a side one way or the other. He wrote a good article after LeBron won, and he said LeBron has never had maybe he has in the Eastern Conference where it's you knew he was going to the finals, but it's never been LeBron has never been inevitable. Even on his best team, the Miami Heat, Lance Stevenson, Roy Hibbert, Indiana Pacers took them to 7 games and almost beat them. Michael Jordan sweeping that team, right? There was never there was an air of invincibility about Mike, where it's they're winning, the Bulls are winning the title, it's over. They don't go to 7 games. Series don't go to 7 games. LeBron, there's always a team that's I don't know, they might beat him.
I do think the league is better now, where it's got more parity. I don't know if parity is the right word. I because of the player movement that there wasn't back then. Teams, unite and there's super teams, and obviously LeBron started that.
Yeah.
But there's more legitimate competition because of all the player movement.
Definitely, like the Warriors, like losing to the Warriors, there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
But like he didn't make the playoffs last year.
He was hurt for like 25 games though.
Yeah.
And they were in a playoff spot when he got hurt.
All right. He creates a super team. They'd only win 2 of the 4 years.
The Mavericks.
That's the stain. That's the stain.
The Mavericks title's going to hang
another
over
stain.
The China thing?
No. That's a stain. But Michael Jordan in his finals, all of his finals, on his TV ratings. Sorry, I didn't know how to get there. 36 million?
That was his last.
Bulls Jazz?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what the numbers of this year was?
They're
5.6 million watched that game. Was it because he should stop beating teams so badly to protect his legacy? It was a blowout. People just stopped watching.
If you want to talk about inevitability,
every game in the NBA Finals was getting horrible ratings.
If you want to talk about inevitability too, I think this finals
they never have to go up
inevitable.
against the NFL.
But the NFL's also their ratings are way down too.
Sports are way down right now. I think I don't know what it like. Because it hasn't seemed that different.
I haven't heard the NHL, but I'm sure they were.
Yeah,
horrible.
they were. Yeah, I think they were too. But I don't know why they're that far down, to be honest. Because the
NHL almost needed a Canadian team.
Well, a lot of people will tell you. I don't know if I necessarily agree. It's
the
political stuff.
I don't think it's that.
But I think Americans who like football are going to watch football. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it says Black Lives Matter in the end zone. I don't.
Maybe it's just people have other things going on right now that they're too.
I think the election's a big thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people I think are just watching CNN and Fox News. Also, there's a pandemic too. People have other concerns.
And the no fans, it does change things. But I think if you're a diehard fan, you're not I haven't noticed it that.
Well, that's why it's kind of weird to me that the NFL's ratings are because I understand hockey and basketball they're not on when they're normally on.
Yeah.
So I understand why their ratings are down, but it's weird that the NFL's are also way down.
Yeah. And way down for the NFL, their Monday nighters are getting 12 million a game.
They're still the most watched thing, but it's still significantly lower than it has been.
Are people just watching less TV too? Is that part of it? I'm just spitballing
I
here.
honestly think I think the politics and the U.S. election is. I think a lot of people in the U.S. are just watching Trump and Biden stuff.
Yeah,
it's the most. It's the most significant sport on right now. Is that joke of a race? I don't want to get into it. But yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty crazy to see all of them going that far down when conventional wisdom would say everybody's sitting at home.
Yeah.
You'd think that they'd just be watching sports. There's no new movies. There's no new TV shows out. There's nothing really getting released. The only new content is sport, which is weird that they wouldn't be getting better ratings.
Especially when LeBron versus Miami was a pretty good storyline.
I think what we were talking about though with the inevitability, I think it did feel pretty inevitable that the Lakers were going to win that, especially when they went up 2-0.
Especially the injuries to Bam and Dog.
Yeah.
Would you say that this was LeBron's most inevitable title? At least once the Clippers got eliminated.
Yeah, semifinals on, conference finals on.
Yeah. As Skip Bayless would say, you owe the Denver Nuggets your fourth title, LeBron, because they eliminated the Clippers. Your kryptonite.
Do you think? Do you still think this is the worst team that he
It's weird. I think it's the worst team, but it might be the best player that he's won with, which is kind of weird.
It's definitely the best player he won
because everybody else
better than Dwayne Wade.
They're comparable.
Maybe Dwayne Wade in his prime was equal to Anthony Davis, but LeBron didn't play with Dwayne Wade in his prime.
Okay.
He's the best teammate in a single season that LeBron's ever had.
Mm-hmm. But then everybody else, the supporting cast after that is not very good, right? Danny Green in theory is good.
Alex Caruso.
Yeah, that's Danny Green was losing minutes to Alex Caruso because Caruso was more reliable.
Yeah,
dude, Kentavious.
He was their third best player.
Yeah, Kuzma was trash.
KCP was their third best player.
Lakers fans started a petition to stop Kuzma from getting a ring if they won.
I know.
That's how good Kuzma was.
Did you watch their celebrations? With their
when J.R. Smith had his tarp off before the buzzer.
There was a picture of Rondo's kid
just
chugging
crushing
champagne.
That wasn't real.
I know.
It was a cider.
A hard cider?
Yeah, it was sparkling cider.
With alcohol?
No.
Oh, okay.
No alcohol.
I'm gonna have to see the bottle up close to believe that.
Also, Quinn Cook got left behind.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
In the bubble.
That was so funny.
Yeah. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they're on Instagram Live in the comments. Like Quinn Cook's like, "Yo, pull a U-turn. I gotta walk back to the hotel after I win a damn ring."
I didn't know he was on the team.
Yeah.
Neither did they. Apparently.
Yeah. Do you know what's crazy about? I was watching the Braves game, and Pablo Sandoval comes up to me. Did you know?
No.
Yeah, he's on their team. I was like stunned.
Yeah, I thought he was on the Giants.
No,
still.
he's on the Braves.
I thought he went back. Jesus, okay.
He's on
was
the
he like
Braves.
playing?
Yeah, he came up to bat.
Was he pinch
like,
hitting? Or
yeah,
was
he was like, I think he was pinch hitting.
Yeah, that's a shit show. Speaking of shit shows, the Raptors' new uniforms that just came out. I just created that segue out of nothing.
Yeah,
that was like, I don't think it was, but anyways.
That was a shit show.
Yeah.
It's not really a shit show.
I said that strictly to transition into the Raptors uniforms. But I do like the red. I mean, I do like the black one.
The white ones I think are okay.
Yeah, I hope they wear the black one a lot.
I think
I love that color scheme. I think that's their third.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It looked like they're alternate to me,
Yeah.
but I'm in the market for a Kyle Lowry jersey, so I want to see what these.
Oh, I was looking for an Anunoby one, but I gotta wait till he gets the extension.
Yeah, what the purples look like. Maybe if the purples are nice, I'll pick up a purple Lowry jersey because they've got purple and golds coming. But
so
yeah, I'm not a fan of these.
We've already talked about Raptors offseason and free agency, who we should re-sign, who we shouldn't re-sign. Let's just brush over it now, though, for people that didn't watch those previous episodes. What do you think the Raptors need? Who do we need to retain? And what could we be targeting in the draft?
It's kind of weird because the Marc Gasol stuff came out, and then it doesn't seem like that's been confirmed yet.
Yeah.
The Marc Gasol to Barcelona. So we'll see if he still wants to come back.
It's just hard to – the Raptors can go – I don't know. They can go a few different ways here, right? It's like, are they prioritizing? It really comes down to like how much they think they have a chance at Giannis in 2021.
Yeah, I think this offseason will tell you that.
Right? And if they don't think they have a good chance, then it's like just extend Anunoby, sign Fred.
Do that anyways.
I don't know if you extend Anunoby. I think you do what you said that you brought it up. You wait on the Anunoby extension.
Right.
And then if you sign the big free agent.
Oh, what they did with Bam?
Yeah.
Or what they're talking about doing with Bam?
Sign Fred for sure, unless it's like something crazy.
Somebody's going to offer him a bag. I can just.
Where do you go? Like, it's probably going to be 4 years.
I think the thing with Fred though is that he might if the cap gets decimated the way it probably will.
The Knicks have a ton of cap space.
Does he re-up for one more year and then try and get the max deal next year? Does he bet on himself one more time, or does he cash out?
I'm trying to protect my heart by saying he's already gone.
Where do you?
I don't want to, and then it'll just.
If you're the Raptor, like if you're Masai, what do you max like Fred out at? Like, say he's getting 4 years. Like if the Knicks offer him 4 years, 100, are you matching that?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think you can. But it's like
90 maybe.
Does Fred want to do that too? Because I don't like. I guess he's got his ring. It just depends on like what he values as a person now. Because he's got his ring, he's gonna get. He'll get money here. He might not get that kind of money, but he's not going to be. He'll also be.
He'll be the second. He's immediately the second best player on that team.
Yeah, he won't be. But I don't think he'll be. He won't be loved the way in New York that he is here. So whatever. I don't know how much that ever matters to athletes.
But dude, the pitch from them is. First of all, we obviously value you more than they do. We're offering you more money.
Yeah.
You're the leader of this team immediately. You're the face of the franchise. Like it's you and RJ Barrett. You're on billboards in New York City. You're playing in Madison Square Garden every night. I'm not saying I think I would probably stay with the Raptors too, but that's the pitch.
Is that a good pitch though? Because I think you're just going to sit there and say, "Well, this team has been a joke for the last 15 years."
That's the counter. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm going to be on a billboard for 2 weeks, then we're 0-18.
The Pistons will also have a ton of cap space.
Same thing there. I think. Like, do you really want to go to Detroit over?
Yeah. Well,
the one team that scares me would be Phoenix.
Playing with Devin Booker.
Yeah, there's some talent there. They've got money, but. They
also showed they're on the up.
Yeah, they've got a high pick this year too. They've got. Yeah, Phoenix would be a team that scares me.
A 8-game winning streak now?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the 10th overall pick. The Suns
I still think Detroit can make a decent pitch. Show them it's you and Blake Griffin's team. You're the second best player.
Yeah, but my comment on that is like, can Blake Griffin walk?
You still are 2 hours away from Toronto. Like where you're
That's what kind of you're almost there.
Yeah,
I could just sign there and be there. You're almost there.
They are offering more money on top of all that.
Yeah,
right?
I guess. Chicago too, maybe if he wants to go home. The Bulls. But
Bulls.
I'm kind of the mind that you just sign Fred and then figure it out later.
If somebody offers him 4 years, $100 million, he's taking that deal.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't think it matters about all the other intangibles.
Yeah,
but
like
the other thing too would be the pandemic. How many owners? Like I don't think the Pistons owners are going to want to throw around that much money.
That's true. I think the Knicks will though.
The Knicks might.
And I think a big thing with Fred, I obviously don't know if this is speculation, but I think a lot of his motivation is that he bet on himself.
And now he's got to pay it
off. And now it's like,
yeah,
I have the. It's not necessarily the money, but it's my bet on myself got me this contract, right? I'm getting huge money now because I made that bet.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because he's not getting the commercials in New York either. I don't think.
He is.
You think?
Dude, he's the face of the franchise. For
2 weeks, and then they're 0-18, and then it's done.
You're getting,
dude. You're not getting that GIF money.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting that GIF money. You're not getting that Osmos money.
This is the thing I saw talking about this exactly.
Norm Powell's been edging his way into those Osmos.
There's a guy on the Knicks I haven't even heard, Ron Baker.
Yeah,
he has more followers than Fred VanVleet on Twitter, and that's simply because he plays for the Knicks, right?
I think they went to school together. I think they both played at Wichita State at the same time. Just kind of throwing that out there. Wow. Just another irrelevant. Yeah, fact. They both played for Wichita State at the same time.
So that's another reason why
there's
he's
a draw.
Going to the
There's
Knicks.
A draw. Uh-oh.
You can't let your old buddy Ron Baker have bigger social media following than you.
He doesn't play for the Knicks anymore, by the way. He plays for CSKA Moscow.
Yeah, but he kept those followers. He kept.
Maybe that's where all the followers come from. Moscow.
Fred to Moscow confirmed.
Let's go reunite with Ron Baker.
All right. So I don't know, Fred. Do you want to get into the draft? I saw you look at it.
So I was just looking at what picks. They have the 29th and 59th pick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I trust Masai with those. So we'll see whatever he can pull off there.
I'm hoping that we can pick up a nice African steal again.
Yeah, or somebody that nobody's ever heard of.
Connection.
Yeah,
I gotta look it up. Just give me a second. You guys start talking or something.
Yeah, he's always done that. You look at the guys on the roster; he's been able to pull that off.
This should be an interesting NBA draft because there's not really a consensus one.
No, and there hasn't really been much of. There wasn't an NCAA tournament. There wasn't.
Yeah, a lot of questions, but. I've looked at a few different mocks, and it's like a different number one. And I've seen like 3 or 4 guys.
The other thing, too, the Warriors might trade that pick.
Yeah, I forgot. They have the 2.
They have the second overall pick.
Man.
So if we go, say we do draft for position, which we usually don't do. We usually draft BPA, but what position would you guys like to strengthen?
They're going to need a big man. If you look at Gasol's.
I was going to say center, too.
Gasol could leave. Ibaka might leave.
Rondé's probably leaving.
Yeah. Then Chris Boucher is your starting center.
Well, I'm assuming one of those 2 guys gets re-signed.
Yeah, they'll probably they'll use their MLE probably on somebody like that. Like Harry Giles is a guy that makes a lot of sense to me. Just like a Rondé 2.0.
Harry Styles?
Yeah, Harry Styles. Watermelon Sugar's coming to.
I'd actually be sick.
Coming to Toronto.
Do you fully understand the MLE?
No, I think it's basically just if you're under the luxury tax, you get it.
I think I get it.
Yeah, but it's like a reward for staying under the luxury tax.
Like the NBA is hands down the most complicated?
Yeah, there's just random shit in there for no reason.
It's the most complicated thing. Like I don't
the MLE. There's another exception too. There's a
lot. Yeah,
it's like good behavior exception or something like that. I can't remember what it's called.
Like it's a lot of it is crazy.
Yeah.
You know who I'd really like? Cassius Winston.
Yeah. You're
Yeah. Well, what do you mean mine?
Was he LSU or was he?
No, he's Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like the
alma mater.
He was like the superstar, like on that Michigan State team in the last tournament.
Those are guys you got to be careful of, though. I think.
That's like a Fred VanVleet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a different situation, though. I think like a bigger school versus smaller school. Again, give a better chance with a smaller school guy paying off than you do a guy that everybody's watched over and over again.
Yeah, but like he got scouted by a big school for a reason.
Yeah.
Because he's a big-time player.
But I think because playing at a big school helps your draft stock more often than it hurts it. So you're like if guys are going high in the draft or higher up in the draft because they went to a big school.
He's ranked. He's ranked in the 3rd round. I mean, sorry, in the 2nd round.
Yeah. So then I think like.
So I wouldn't mind if we grabbed him in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Little replacement.
I find though I do like usually when you have like these guys who like go off in the tournament. usually the better picks are like this guy who didn't play, but is like an athletic
tournament.
freak.
Yeah.
Or like he's like
Carson Edwards is not doing great on.
Which is what Masai drafts. When you look at it, he drafts guys who are athletic freaks, like OG, Siakam,
right.
Norm Powell.
Enough with the F word. That's
like you look at like Zion was like a role. Like he was. I mean, he was their best player, but he was like.
Okay,
like Carson Edwards was putting up like 30 points a game in the tournament.
Yeah.
Zion's getting like 15 points, like 10 rebounds. This guy's clearly better.
This is the guy I was hearing about. Kansas, Udoka Azubuike.
Okay.
Center. Apparently he has connections to Masai. I think he was part of that Project Africa.
The Basketball Without Borders.
Yeah, Basketball Without Borders. Project Africa is a decent name though too. Maybe they should look into it. Anyways, but yeah, apparently he was part of that. He has connections, and he's a second round, like early second round. We might reach for him, which we've been.
The reality is they're going to draft somebody we've never heard of, and we're going to be like, okay, yeah, he'll probably be a superstar in 3 years.
I like that. I like that. I like the feel. He went to Kansas.
When you look at the Raptors draft history since Masai's been here, they've had 2 guys they haven't hit on. Like one was a second round pick.
What was he?
Bruno. It's Bruno
the
and
other one?
DeAndre Daniels, and he was like a second round pick. Those are like the 2 guys they drafted who like didn't. I guess DeJuan Hernandez is another guy maybe to look at.
When do you think Pirtle?
They turned him into like he was part of a Kawhi Leonard deal, though. So
but he's not a top. Like,
no, he wasn't. That was a bad draft.
He's not a top 10.
No,
worthy pick. What was he? 9?
I think he was 9. Yeah. They got him for. He was in.
I remember because Jamal Murray went 7, and I was like,
they were trying to trade up. They were trying to trade up and
fall.
get him too.
I was listening to it in the car on the radio.
I remember that with the.
And then we took Jakob Pirtle.
That's something that Mike would never do. Listen to a draft on the radio.
No,
he won't even watch it on TV.
I won't even watch it on TV.
I remember the year they took.
I love the draft. The draft.
They took,
you know what? I would honestly
you know what?
more likely listen to it if I was like on a road trip.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, all right, yeah, put it on.
Yeah, you know who went 2 picks behind Pirtle? Sabonis. That one kind of hurts.
Oh yeah, he's an all-star.
Yeah.
Fucking all-star.
But they did get Siakam later on in that draft, so.
Yeah, to each his own.
Karis LeVert was also in that draft too.
That applies.
I don't know why I just said that. I honestly have been ready to move on for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just let's just shoot something out there. And fuck. Like,
all right,
let's get to MLB.
Let's go on to the baseball.
To each his own.
Yeah, whatever. Pirtle, Sabonis, to each his own.
All right, baseball playoffs. The Rays are up 3-1 over the Astros now.
That series is over.
The Braves are up 2-1 over the Dodgers. They got smacked yesterday.
The Dodgers were mad.
It was 11-0 in the first inning,
were angry.
which is like that just never happened.
They just decided to hit home runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who pitched for them?
For the Dodgers or the Braves?
For the Braves.
Max Fried, I want to say, was their starter. Max Fried, and he got lit. Was it Max Fried? I don't think it was Max Fried.
No,
Max Fried was game 3, I thought.
Oh no,
he pitched.
That was game 3.
Oh no, game 2.
No, Anderson pitched one of them.
Yeah, because I didn't watch.
Okay, hold on. It was a guy. It was like
watch,
Bill Taylor.
I didn't watch game 3.
Bill.
Oh, guess who another more breaking basketball news.
All right.
The Los Angeles Clippers named Tyron Lue as their head coach.
Ooh.
A guy who's basically just a doormat.
Yeah, Kawhi's doormat.
Yeah. All right. I guess.
Where do you think did
something we also never talked about?
Doc Rivers?
No,
Uncle Dennis getting Doc Rivers fired?
No, just the fact that Kyrie said like the Nets don't need a coach.
That was insane. Yeah.
Kyrie is so dumb.
Yeah.
He's actually stupid.
Yeah.
He's a stupid person. He's good at basketball. He has no brain.
And
he's an artist.
He doesn't know like how the world works.
Yeah.
Well, it's flat.
Yeah.
Even beyond that though, like he just doesn't understand. Like he doesn't understand that you're not supposed to say that even if that's what you think.
Which I guess is what we ask for in our athletes, but
like, well, if you're Steve Nash, I'd be like, can I opt out of this deal?
Take your money.
Yeah, like I don't.
Kyle Wright started for the Atlanta Braves. He gave up 7 runs in 2/3 of an inning. He was followed up by Grant Dayton, who gave up 8 runs in 2 innings.
He gave up a grand slam to Max Muncy.
Yeah, Muncy took him deep. So yeah, there you go.
So do you think?
Oh, Jose Altuve has the yips too. I don't know if we talked about that.
Not offensively.
Can't throw second base or can't throw first.
let's do AL.
Okay.
Do the Astros have a chance to come back with the pitching that the Rays have? I don't think so.
No. They've got to beat Glasnow.
If they get really
and Morton.
really hot.
Because they won Game 4 when none of them were pitching.
Yeah, no.
So
they did just beat Glasnow. He
was that Glasnow?
He pitched yesterday.
So yeah, ignore what I said.
They're not getting. They're not.
But they still have Morton, Snell, Yarbrough.
Yeah.
So is the dream of the Chaos World Series over?
Yeah, you might be about to get the worst marketed World Series ever. Kind of like their version of Lightning Stars. They're gonna get Braves, Rays.
I would pick in that series. I would still pick the Dodgers. The Braves.
You think the Dodgers are gonna win? Did you see?
I don't. I would.
Well,
if I had to bet on
one game.
If I had to bet on one team, I would bet on the
when they went up 2-0. I don't know if you guys saw this. Mark Melancon, the Braves closer, got asked. A reporter asked him. He's like, "Yeah, you guys kind of just scraped away with a win there. Can you take any positives about being up 2-0 here?" And Mark Melancon's like, "I don't really understand your question." He's like, "Well, you just scraped away. You didn't play very well."
Was this guy from LA?
I don't know. And Melancon gave him an out. He's like, "Dude, change your question." The guy's like, "Were there any positives being up 2-0?"
Yeah,
and Melancon's like, "I'm not answering that. That's a stupid question."
The fact that we're 2 wins away from winning the series.
Walker Buehler after
his tight pants.
His tight pants were trending, and then after they just lost his post game first question, the guy's like, "Walker, during the game, your pants were and then before he finished the question, Walker's like, "Not the time or the place, man." Okay.
It's true.
Your pants were trending on Twitter.
It's like the crew for E-Talk Daily just came in and was like, "Oh, what were you wearing on the fuck off?"
My favorite is
this is playoff baseball.
My favorite still is Blake Wheeler just absolutely roasting Paul Roman.
Oh.
Mark, my name's Blake.
What's an ideal first shift for you? Just a good hit, a good check,
probably a goal.
Yeah, probably scoring a goal.
That got Romanov fired. I've never heard anything from him since
Thank
then.
God.
That ended his career.
Thank God. One of the worst sports figure.
Yeah,
one of the worst broadcasters I've ever heard.
Sportsnet tried to do some things when they got the NHL back, and a lot of them didn't work. Like Strombo hosting Hockey Night in Canada.
Yeah,
dude, he's hit. He's gonna get the young crowd.
Yeah,
he's got tight pants and an earring.
Getting rid of Ron McLean was not a good idea.
Strombolopoulos is an absolutely fantastic broadcaster. I'm not gonna say anything against him.
Yeah, you shouldn't be hosting Hockey Night in Canada.
Ron McLean is it's a layup. It's a layup.
Strombo does have a background in sports too, but if you want to do that, ease him in. Don't just have him usurp Ron McLean right off the bat.
Ron McLean is a legend.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what I wonder if a part of it was just maybe they didn't have to. Maybe they're paying him way less money.
Strombo? There's no way.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense otherwise.
They legitimately wanted to do the younger thing. That's what it was.
Yeah,
they wanted to get.
Weird.
They thought Ron McLean only had ties to.
Because all those other firings are the Don Cherry thing is he said that thing, but it's also their pay. He was making so much money. They're looking for any reason to be we don't have to pay this guy $4 million a year for working 15 minutes a week.
Yeah. So speaking of paying new guys, do you think the pandemic will impact the Toronto Blue Jays signing new free agents in the offseason? Because this is what Matt Shoemaker thinks.
Shoemaker was on the radio yesterday, and he basically said they asked him, do you think the impact of COVID-19 and not necessarily knowing where you're going to play next year is going to have an impact? And he said, well, yeah, you know what? I hadn't even totally thought about that, but that's definitely that'll definitely play a part for people choosing on whether or not to sign here. Because if there's that uncertainty, there's no way anybody's going to want to sign up to do that unless they have to, is basically what he said.
So
I agree with him.
So
I
to
think
me,
it's
that
gonna
means
affect
Shoemaker might be gone after that.
I think it's going to affect him for sure.
Well, I think
it totally does, because it's the uncertainty. You don't know where you're going to be living your whole year. You're going to be away from your family.
Yeah. There's the only way.
They have time on their side, but I guess the off season starts in 2 weeks.
The only way to work around that is to commit to Buffalo right now for next season, because you can't commit to Canada because you don't know if you're going to be allowed to play, right? Mm-hmm. So and they're not going to commit to Buffalo this early.
But then exactly, because if they do that and a vaccine comes out in December,
we're playing in Toronto now.
Yeah.
And some guy's like, I hate Canada. I wouldn't have signed here.
Everything I've heard is that the vaccine's farther away than people think.
I think it definitely is.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's still
not that we know anything about that. But.
No, I'm just saying everything I've heard. I'm not putting my stamp on a vaccine or non-vaccine. I'm just saying.
Trump says it's going to come out right after the election, though. So
Well, yeah, that's what you'd say.
Right.
Right after the election.
They say it's going to be ready the day after.
I think he said, I'd push it out now, but politics, it's going to be out after the election.
Politics.
So he's blaming the Democrats for it.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that going around.
Politics.
Maybe just help your people out. Anyways, let's get into the NFL.
So we're just going to
This isn't a politics podcast.
No.
Let's just say that. All right?
We're going to jump into our 10 questions here. I guess we'll go right into that.
10 burning questions.
Speaking of helping people out, Le'Veon Bell's a free agent. Are there any teams out there you think he could help? The rumor is that he's looking at.
We talked about this in our picks.
Yeah, he's looking at the Chiefs, Dolphins, and Bills, and now apparently Bill Belichick has thrown his hat into
According
the
to Brandon, not a coincidence that that's the next 3 teams that the.
I don't think it is.
Play.
I think it totally is a coincidence. I just think
that's ridiculous.
He's not going to make his decision on where he's going to play the next year or so.
If you know that you're still getting money from the Jets anyways, and you're probably going to get a minor deal. Why not take a petty year?
Because he's like. Yeah, he's getting that amount of money for the rest of his career. You know what I mean? Because he's like the rest of that deal.
You sign 1 year here just to say a little fuck you for the rest of the season.
You could, yeah, I guess. But there are other teams that the Jets play who need running backs. Like the Colts need a running back, or not the Colts. The Rams kind of need a running back.
Yeah, he wants revenge now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Over these next 3 games.
Yeah, but he's like if he signs with whoever they play next, he's not playing in that game.
I just think it's too much of a coincidence that the 3 teams that are reported on being the front runners are the next 3 games that the Jets play. I think that's a very big coincidence.
Yeah.
I do.
Anyways, where is he playing next season? Or this season? This season, sorry. The rest of this season.
My heart says Buffalo. Because I think we're going to be able to give him a bigger role than the Chiefs. And we have a good chance of actually having a playoff run, which the Dolphins don't offer you. So if you want to make the playoffs and you want to actually participate in the offense, I think the Bills cover both of those things where the Chiefs just cover one. Because I think they're committed to Clyde. They already have playoff Damian Williams.
No, he opted out.
Did he opt out? Okay,
well,
they have Daryl.
That's their one thing is they have no depth behind CEH. And I think if Bell's there, he'll have a role in that offense for sure.
I think he's going to have a bigger role in the Bills offense because we don't have a pass-catching back at all, and that's what Le'Veon is best at.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Bills. It's a little bit of a heart pick.
He ends up on the Dolphins.
The Dolphins?
Okay. We got Bills, Chiefs, Dolphins.
I don't know. I haven't picked yet.
Apparently the Chiefs. Well, I'm reading the things now are saying the Chiefs are out.
Yeah.
It's like Dolphins and Bills going hard. He has a house in Miami. I didn't even know that before you told me that. And also, I don't know. I think maybe the Bills back out. I feel like this is you have a good team. This could make your team better. It could also just end up being a headache.
Which is why
I don't know if you want to. The Dolphins can take on a headache because they don't really have any expectations this year.
That to me, that's why I think the Chiefs make more sense. If they're out, they're out, I guess. But that's why they made more sense to me because I think they could withstand the headache of Le'Veon Bell, and he has a game-breaking ceiling.
The last thing the Buffalo Bills need is a headache.
You're right.
Apparently, Stephon Diggs was going to be a headache.
Right, but he hasn't been.
Exactly.
But if he
maybe Le'Veon isn't going to be.
You keep rolling that dice,
Maybe we've established that culture that it's just like the Patriots have over all the years where they can just bring in locker room cancers and succeed with them.
Yeah.
There's a certain type of culture. I don't know what it is. I'm not a coach. I'm not establishing cultures in locker rooms. But apparently there is a way to make these guys buy in, and maybe McDermott's figured that out.
I think the Patriots,
Who knows?
what the Patriots have is
sustained success.
Look at the Super Bowls, and you can't argue that our way doesn't work, right?
Yep.
Which is I'm gonna say.
Which I guess the Andy Reid could kind of do as well.
I'm gonna throw the Patriots out there as my pick.
And he didn't work there, I guess. So yeah. But anyways, I'm a little biased here because I want him to go to the Bills. I want the Bills backfield to actually be a threat instead of putting up 2.9 yards per carry like they have been. And I think he would definitely have the biggest role of any of those teams. He would have the biggest role on the Bills.
All right, next question.
Because that Miami backfield's actually way more crowded than you think it is. They have Gaskin, they have Breida, they have Howard, and then they would have Le'Veon Bell.
Bell's way better than all those guys, though.
Yes, he is, but Flores actually really likes Gaskin. He really likes him. But every single week he's been getting utilized more and more, and he's been doing all right. He hasn't been doing amazing, but he's been doing all right. He's now getting goal line touches. which he started getting last week. So this is obviously a little bit biased of me, and I'll admit that because I want him on the Bills, but I think he would have a bigger role on the Bills than he would on the Dolphins.
This is a tweet from Cameron Wolfe,
okay,
who ESPN reporter covering the NFL, and he says, I've heard the Dolphins are definitely interested in Le'Veon Bell and want to sign him. It's going to depend on what Bell wants more. If it's potential for role/location, Miami would be the leader. If it's Super Bowl contender, Chiefs, Bills would stand out.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs or the Patriots as my pick. One of those two.
Okay. I'll go Bills.
Speaking
your Dolphins. Cool.
Speaking of wide receivers who are quickly becoming headaches, how concerned should the Saints be about Michael Thomas? He was injured for first 2 games, and then he missed last week because of suspension because he got into a fight at practice.
Not concerned.
For a team to suspend their star receiver, it takes a lot.
Yep.
If you punch a starter in the face in practice, you're getting suspended.
There can be.
It doesn't matter who you are.
That stuff they can bury that stuff.
You can bury that. But if you're a good organization, you're saying we're suspending.
Cam Newton got into a fight with.
People accountable.
Cam Newton got into a fight with I think it was Josh Norman in practice, and they both played the next game. They both were punching each other.
But
I
think a good organization would be like, you just punched one of our I don't care who you are. You're Michael Thomas. You just punched one of our starting players in the face in practice. We're suspending you for a game that he may not have even played anyway.
I'm going to say no concern until we start seeing maybe some effects on the field. So once he starts playing, I don't think you have a reason to be concerned. I think your big concern is the quarterback position right now.
All right, another wide receiver headache. AJ Green, as he played his last game as a Bengal. I don't know if you guys saw this, but after Joe Burrow threw a pick.
Did you see that his body language on that?
Well, he didn't jump for the ball, and then he started blocking for the guy. He didn't he didn't try and tackle. I'll show you I'll show you later, but he started running beside the guy basically, who was.
The guy who made the
pick, yeah. AJ, hold on, let's look this up. But
was it Marlon Humphrey?
I think it was Humphrey. No, it was Marcus Peters.
They both got picks that game, didn't they?
Yeah, I think with Green also on the sideline in that game, he was caught mouthing to one of the somebody was talking to him. I don't know if it was a coach or what, but he mouths, "If you're not going to use me, just trade me." You can read his lips, and that's what he says to him. So
yeah, I've been telling you, he's washed.
Yeah. I agree.
I could see him going to the Eagles.
Eagles make a lot of sense. Patriots, again, obviously, they're going to be the team that always gets thrown out there. He's not. I don't think he's going to get traded just because he's on the franchise tag, so he makes a ton of money.
Yeah.
But I think there's a chance that he gets released if they just don't want to deal with it. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think?
What's the question?
Has he played his last game as a Bengal? Or will he? Let's change it. Will he finish this season as a Bengal?
No.
I'm gonna say last time you asked a question like this, it was has Le'Veon Bell played his last game as a Jet, and I said no, but he did. I said yes, he has,
and he did technically play. Yeah.
So I got that wrong technically. So I'm gonna say that AJ Green will probably end up in a similar situation as Le'Veon Bell, but he will play another game with the Bengals.
His clock is.
Here, this is it, Mike. Here's the video. So we have Joe Burrow drops back, throws the ball up, not a good throw, gets picked by Peters. Now watch Green here. I know. Just runs the other way.
For everybody.
I'm sure everybody's seen it.
Well, I mean.
It's easier to.
That's bad radio.
Yeah.
I don't like what
radio, you can never watch video.
No, I know, but bad radio is describing a play that people will not be able to see. And if we have the visual, maybe Mike should have got it up.
Whatever, it's too late.
Let's just. Okay.
Should NFL teams punish teams for having positive tests? Obviously, the Titans were the big talk of the last couple of weeks. And the Bills and Steelers they kind of suffered because of the Titans testing positive, and especially in the Bills' case of them being careless. There a punishment. I think there's going to be a punishment come down for them hosting those practices, but I think nothing's come down as of yet. So do you think the NFL is going to punish teams for having positive tests?
Doesn't look like it.
No.
I mean, if you're going to punish anybody, you're going to punish a team that has been proven to have blatantly broken the rules. And I putting my tinfoil hat on a little bit here, but based on the CBS broadcast where they were constantly protecting the Titans, trying to spin a narrative where they hadn't actually had a practice, where it's proven there's pictures of them practicing at local Tennessee high schools. So I think yes, they're going to protect these teams because it's a PR stunt for the entire league, not just the Titans. Like, it's to the point where they actually suspended Schefter.
No,
Rappaport.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mixed those two up. There are both two really small guys that do the same job. Rappaport. They suspended Rappaport for posting the picture because it wasn't confirmed yet.
Which is insane, yeah. That kind of got swept under the rug.
Yeah,
but
nobody's
so to
talking
be
about
fair, they
that.
weren't actually practicing. It was just a bunch of players working out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there weren't any
I
players.
don't give a shit.
There weren't any coaches there or anything.
They're still gathering.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been doing
They're
that,
not
but there were.
supposed to be
It
doing
wasn't.
that.
It wasn't.
You're going against protocol,
For sure.
and you should be punished for it because you're putting other teams at risk.
Like, no broadcast is gonna talk about them breaking
it's
COVID
not.
protocol.
Yeah, but it's you don't have to talk about it, but you don't have to like praise them. Like, they're like, oh,
well, they
like,
haven't practiced.
They have practiced. They were practicing at the fucking field.
That's just a workout. That's not a practice.
I mean,
these are obviously semantics, but that isn't a practice.
That's not like a legit NFL practice. Like, well, it's not.
Well, they fucking weren't supposed to get together.
There was like 15 guys there too. It wasn't.
They got together.
That's not a team
practice. 15 guys
that.
enough to be spreading it to other
They definitely
people.
didn't practice.
Yeah.
So okay, so you guys think they shouldn't be punished?
No,
I think they should be punished.
That's like they're not
but
wrong.
I think it's
saying
legit to say they
practiced.
haven't practiced.
No,
like,
I don't think so at all. It's a cover-up. It's a conspiracy. Ancient aliens are behind it.
Thought we weren't getting political here.
No, that's not political. That's about aliens. Anyways, yeah. So I think they should be punished. I think putting other teams at risk because you're careless is a punishable offense. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I think they should too. My only problem is I don't know who you punish if it was the players
The organization
doing it. But if they did, like, what are they supposed to do? If
fine, massive fines.
Yeah, they could do that. Is a fine really anything though? Like,
if it's big enough,
there's limits though on what you can
But then,
fine.
like, what do you like? How did I don't know? You'd have to like. It's all case by case, right?
Yeah. So you look at this case and you say, okay, we have proof, and let's fucking fine them.
Proof of what?
Proof that they were getting together against protocol.
Yeah.
Do you find the players
though? That they agreed to before.
Was it like players who had tested positive at those workouts?
No, but like none of the players were supposed to be together.
That's not what the rules are. It doesn't matter who's tested positive.
But then do you look into like
quarantining?
Do you launch an investigation into like how like Cam Newton got COVID? Like what if he was like out at the bar?
I think you launch an investigation on how everybody gets it.
So that seems like you're using way too many resources now.
Does it? Because this is a serious circumstance where you're trying to continue and have a $1 billion league finish their season. And if there's people putting that season at risk, it's worth the money to put an investigation in place. It's just the reality. Like, it's just how it should work. But if you want to sweep it under the rug, just like Goodell would,
I don't think they care how they got it. I think they just don't. I think they just want to finish the season. So I don't think the NFL's gonna. I don't think they're gonna put all the resources together to like launch investigations on each COVID case.
So maybe you have a third party investigate it.
But why would the league want? It's not in the league's interest to do that.
It's not. But I think that's not the right thing to do. And that's what we're talking about right now.
Oh,
the
are
right
we saying
thing
what?
To do, not
do you
what
think it's
going
to happen, or would I?
Should.
Yeah, should is what's the right thing to do.
Yeah, they should fine them, I guess.
But I guess then you're gonna get tricky into where it's like, where do you draw the line?
But it's like sometimes you can get it for not
like
your fault, right?
I think we.
You have to, that's why it's a case by case thing. You can't just fine.
I think you lay down the fucking.
I think we all agree the Titans should be fined, but then after that, I don't know where you're gonna draw the line on what team should be fined.
I'm not gonna profess to be like educated enough to deem what is a valid punishment for this.
But do you find the Falcons?
You look into what happened.
Yeah.
As you said, case by case basis, and I think that's the way you have to do it.
All right, is this going to be the last time that we see Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady in an NFL game? Obviously, we got the Bucs and Packers going on Sunday at 4:00. Two of the greatest quarterbacks of this era. They don't play again obviously this year. They could play again in the playoffs if they meet. They also could play next year if Brady plays another year.
I don't know if they would play next year though.
It would have to be one of those two spare games.
No, because you play
divisions.
You play but they're both in the NFC.
Yeah.
So you play
one.
You play
your own division and then another
other division.
And if they're playing the other division right now,
then
they wouldn't have it next year immediately. Yeah. It would have to be one of those two spare games where they just made the matchup. So if This is my take. If this game is unbelievable, yes, they play next year. They'll probably want the matchup again because it's just instant ratings. Yeah. So that's my take on it.
The other thing is Rodgers may not even be on the Packers.
Do you think it's more likely that Rodgers on the Packers? Okay.
Rodgers will. He'll at least be there for another year. I think.
Next question. Yes. Move on.
Is Alex Smith a lock for the comeback player of the year? 100%. They should probably name the award after him at this point.
That picture of that leg, every time I see it,
dude,
my knees go weak.
What if Dak comes back
this year?
That's not happening. That's not happening.
With his leg stapled together.
Andy Dalton takes the Cowboys to the Super Bowl, and then Dak comes back and starts. Wow. And they get killed.
Speaking of Dak, do you think his injury is going to make players more hesitant to play on the franchise tag? Obviously, Dak is on the franchise tag this year. Is he on the franchise? Yeah, I think he's on the franchise tag this year.
Yes.
And then he has no guarantees after this. Do you think this is going to make players more hesitant watching Dak go down in the way he did, and how much jeopardy that could put him in going forward? This could cost him a ton of money.
Yeah.
I think players are already hesitant to play on the franchise tag, but I think isn't it mostly in the ball in the team's court at that point?
You can hold out, which is what Le'Veon Bell did.
I think I think people are less likely to hold out if they don't play quarterback or one of these positions that is
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Right? So I think it really depends on the player.
And I don't know why a quarterback should, in my mind, a quarterback should almost always hold out.
Yeah.
Because you have so much power.
Dak is just I mean, obviously, I don't know him personally, but everything I've heard is he's an amazing guy. He's a team-first guy, and he just loves football. He wants to play. So, did he get
screwed?
Did he get screwed by because he's a nice guy? Nice guys finish last. I don't know, but I do know that this was an absolute devastating hit.
Yeah,
to
it was
him,
gross.
especially after not hit. I don't mean hit as in the actual hit. Yeah. I mean It actually I hate the Cowboys. I was upset.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this guy has gone through so much.
Yeah, his foot fell off.
His brother died this year. He didn't get paid what he should have gotten paid in the off season, and then his foot is pointing due east.
Skip Bayless is roasting him for having mental health issues.
This guy has been nothing but a good representative of the league, and he's gotten nothing but shit. And
on their biggest team too, or arguably,
and it's just more shit. And I feel bad for him, and I hope when he does get healthy, he gets a fucking bag.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Do you think Jerry Jones gives him gifts to make up for all the money that he just lost?
Well, I don't know if you saw the press box. I don't think it was Jerry Jones. It was someone.
It was his wife.
Was it his wife or his?
It was Jerry Jones's wife.
Daughter-in-law.
I don't know.
There was a woman in the press box who was crying
and hugging somebody.
I think his son. Yeah. I think that was Stephen Jones.
Yeah.
How big of an impact does this have on the Cowboys season? Does this change any of their outlook going forward?
I think it changes their game plan. I think in a division like that.
Yeah, they're going to use Zeke more.
You can make the playoffs.
For sure they can.
think it's just you're lucky you play in the NFC East at this point. And I think, exactly what you said. I think their game plan is more run heavy. Yeah. And probably you're going to use CeeDee Lamb a lot more than you use Amari Cooper because he's the slot guy. And Dalton.
Yeah. I don't know if you watched. Dalton was forcing the ball to Cooper a lot, though, down the stretch.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I think.
He didn't get it to him at all, but.
Yeah, I think. Somebody is going to take the lion's share of those targets instead of it being spread around like what Dak was doing. And I think it will be CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper. The majority, whoever is a fantasy owner of Zeke, is loving this.
When you look, too, at what Dalton's done in his career with A.J. Green lined up out wide for most of his career, and Dalton loved getting the ball to him, too. So we'll see what that does with Cooper.
I think they're, significantly worse now.
Yes.
You think they're
because I think they go down, their defense is shit.
Yeah.
If they go down big, I don't have nearly as much confidence as Andy Dalton bringing them back into a game as I do with Dak. So I think
Dalton's proven though that he's a guy who can get you to the playoffs.
He is, but he also hasn't I don't know if he's the same.
Yeah.
He's older.
He was good last year when he played. Yeah. The team sucked. Right?
I just have more faith if you're going down by 30 to the Falcons,
they're not
believe that Dak can bring you back into the game. I don't believe that Andy Dalton can.
Yeah.
So I think they can still make the playoffs because that division is horrible.
Mm-hmm. And Dalton's probably the best backup in the NFL too. Just off the top of my head, I can't think of.
Jameis Winston.
I think Dalton's better than Wentz.
Yeah, probably. Jordan Love.
Marcus Mariota. Like, Dalton's better than those guys.
Yeah.
Finally, our last question. No, sorry. Second last question. Is Ryan Tannehill now a legitimate top 10 quarterback? He's a guy for me. Like, obviously, he's put up the numbers, but I just can't make myself believe in Ryan Tannehill yet. I don't know what
top 10.
I don't know what I'm gonna have to see out of him.
He's top 10.
You think?
He's like fringe top 10. For sure.
You've always been a guy that has a trouble taking a leap.
I have I have a hard time buying into.
Name me 10 guys who are better than Ryan Tannehill.
You like to protect your takes.
No, I have a hard time buying into things that I haven't seen a huge track record.
We have to. This is a thing where you have to. There's a game tomorrow. You need to win the game. Is that how we're doing this?
Yeah.
If there's a game tomorrow, you have to win the game.
Yeah. Josh Allen.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson.
Kyler Murray?
No, not Kyler. I'd probably still take Deshaun Watson. As rough as that team has been this year.
Brady?
Probably.
I'd probably take.
But yeah, I'm not gonna. I would probably take.
That's
Brady.
a close one though. That's very close.
I'm taking Tannehill over Wentz.
Yeah. We're only at 7. Roethlisberger.
Yeah. Big Ben. Baker. I'm probably taking Tannehill over Baker.
Yeah. Would you have taken Dak?
I would have taken Dak.
Burrow.
Yeah.
I would take Tannehill over Burrow right now. Burrow's just.
We haven't seen Burrow with a good team. Is
Herbert?
the only problem. No, like if you're not taking Burrow, you're not taking Herbert.
Mm-hmm. I'm just naming quarterback.
Stafford.
Okay, yeah, I would take Cam.
Stafford.
Cam Stafford.
So that's over. Yeah, you're right. He's probably not top 10. So I agree with all those that you said. Maybe even Goff.
I would take Tannehill over Goff.
That's like the line to me. I think it's right around there.
Carr.
I say yes. I say yes.
Kirk Cousins.
I say yes because of
he's fringe. He's near 10.
Yeah, he's flirting with 10.
Yeah, I say yes. Just for parody. I sent you something for
Garoppolo.
Our hypothetical question as well.
Garoppolo.
I want you to bring up on the screen.
Oh, like where?
It's in your email.
Okay.
Gmail. But yeah, so let's get to the last question, and then we'll wrap it up with our hypothetical.
Will Phillip Rivers finish this season as the Colts starting quarterback? This was a little bit of discussion going into this week. They have Jacoby Brissett as their backup. I'm going to say Rivers will finish the season just because you traded for him, and Brissett was your starter last year, and I don't know how you go back to Brissett. Yeah. I don't know how you can turn to that guy and say, okay, you're the starter again. You know what I mean? Just confidence-wise. We went in and brought this guy to replace you. And now, actually, can you start playing quarterback again? To me, it just doesn't seem like it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, good talk.
That's it. I mean, at this point, there's
they've gone too far.
Yeah. They've kind of put their chips in on Phil Rivers. So our hypothetical this week, it's in. I'm
about to send you something too, Mike.
Yeah, my Mac's gonna die. Stop sending me stuff.
Okay.
I'm getting it.
Do you want to run and get your charger quick?
1 sec. I'm just trying to pull yours up. Do you want me to pull yours up for now, or wait till we talk about it?
No, we'll wait till I talk about it.
I'll go get the charger. You can ask the question.
Our hypothetical this week, it's.
Is that what you?
Yeah.
It's in lieu of the. It's in lieu of the Raptors' new jerseys, because we're a very stylish podcast. We want to know. What past jersey in any past sport would you like to see make a comeback and become the team's regular jerseys again?
So we're just going to wait for Mike to get his laptop here. We'll bring them up.
So that's NFL, that's NHL, that's NBA, that's MLB. I mean, MLB, there's not really a lot of change in uniforms often. They don't really switch it up. It's pretty. I mean, obviously the early Jays.
The powder blues.
Yeah, the powder blues. But then they went to those shitty when they dropped
the black
when they dropped the blue.
They were trying to change the name.
Cool.
They were trying to be the Jays.
They were trying to just be the Jays. Yeah, they were trying to make it.
Well, the reason they were called the Blue Jays was because Labatt Blue owned them.
Yeah. So.
Or Labatt.
But also the Blue Jays are a real bird, and Jays, just the Jays are not. But yeah, so. Out there, think of yours right now while Mike plugs in his laptop so we can get some visuals on the screen for you. Brandon, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay, I'll start. So
we're actually gonna go back to back.
Team
names here.
We have the same team name, different jersey.
Okay, so yeah, I have the Los Angeles Kings going back to the old purple and golds. I love these jerseys. I've always loved these jerseys. I think they are so fitting for an LA team. I love when a town has colors.
Pittsburgh.
Schemes. Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Toronto should have it.
Yeah, Toronto.
The Raptors should be the Huskies and be blue and white.
Yeah, so I love when like a town has like a color scheme that fits. So you go back to the purple and golds. You have the LA Lakers. You have the LA Kings. And I think it's a gorgeous jersey.
The Galaxy too are similar colors.
I love that jersey. I think the traditional color of royalty is purple.
They never wear those as like alternates either.
No. If they've gone back to the black and silver.
I also do like those ones.
The black and silver,
But I just think like
I like the purple and gold in LA
a lot better.
Especially they play in the same building.
Yeah, I guess the black and silver was LA's color at one point too. The Lakers never had it, but the Raiders were wearing it, and then the Kings were wearing it.
Yeah, so I personally am gonna lean towards this. This is I really like this jersey. There are obviously other picks.
I would do this, but I would update it with like stripes on the like sleek. Like I would modernize like the striping of it a little bit.
Just go back to the
like,
color.
Go back to the color
go back
scheme,
to the color scheme and that logo.
Yeah,
because I really like that logo too.
So I'm gonna stick with the Kings here, but I'm gonna go with the Sacramento Kings.
You're gonna stay in the same state.
I'm just gonna wait for Mike to bring this up here. These are maybe my favorite jerseys ever. It's right there, Mike. It's highlighted.
Where? Oh, this?
Yeah, right there.
I love these ones.
These are my favorite jerseys.
Oh, those are. I've never even seen
in
those
history.
Before.
They wear them. I think this goes back to when they were the Cincinnati Royals. I think that's what they're.
We have like Oscar Robertson.
Yeah, I think those were their jerseys. So obviously, I have the Cincinnati connection there with my Bengals. But again, these are just beautiful jerseys. I think if the whites would look really nice too. So yeah, if they could go to these full time, they do wear these every now and then as an alternate, but they haven't done it as a while. Clearly, as that's a DeMarcus Cousins jersey. But yeah, that would be my pick there. Honorable mention too to the Huskies. The Raptors could go to the blue and white Huskies jerseys. That would be.
So mine is actually happening.
Yeah.
This year.
This is a good one too. I love these jerseys.
So I'm from Calgary. But they've always had. I thought they went to like the horse head for a bit, and then they had. Like,
I used to love that when I was a kid.
But
the black jersey with the horse head. No, they're awful.
Yeah, and they would wear their retro ones like every once in a while, the yellow and red, which I'm gonna try and pull up here in a sec. And now apparently they've completely scrapped their.
I think you got to minimize this.
Oh my god. Pressure's on.
Technical difficulties.
Everybody's tuning out.
These bad boys
here.
here.
Shit.
The Theo Fleury era.
Yeah. Yeah, I like those a lot.
Lanny McDonald,
what
Doug
do you
Gilmore.
think of the horse?
We were just talking about that, yeah.
With the fire coming
I
up.
loved that when I was a kid.
I didn't mind the like logo, but like their jerseys then sucked. Like the black, yeah. These are way better. And this is their jersey now. They're going back to it.
Go to the white?
This is the one they used in the Winter Classic a few years ago too.
Oh,
so those suck.
Yeah, those are the worst.
Yeah.
You know who else has brutal jerseys? Or the Penguins.
Those are they're what they have been, right?
Yeah.
But now they're just going back to
those are awful.
The other ones are way better.
I don't know. The new Sens jerseys are really beautiful too. Like they went to the flat logo, like the old.
I prefer the flat.
Yeah,
logo.
like I'll show you them.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like the 90s era. Mm-hmm. I really like the Penguins. I don't know if they wear these all the time, like the throwback Penguins.
Mm-hmm. Like the blue,
like the Lemieux,
baby blue.
No, like the Lemieux era jerseys.
Yeah. With the
I don't
still like the Penguin on skates, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think those aren't their regular jerseys though. I can't remember.
Another couple examples of good like. I've heard a lot of people begging for the Tampa Bay Bucks creamsicles to come back.
Yeah, those are good.
Those are cool. What are some other good jerseys?
I like the original Winnipeg Jets jerseys.
Yeah, those are good. That's a good call.
Hartford
Whalers.
I don't know why they didn't change why they changed it.
Because they wanted to rebrand as like their own kind of thing. Because there's that one they wore in the Winter Classic right there, which is really I like that one.
I like those ones.
I'm glad that Phoenix is going back to the old ones.
Those are brutal.
I love
those
them.
are brutal, but I loved them when I was a kid. Mighty Ducks, same kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's the one I was trying to think of.
The Mighty
Ducks. Old Ducks jerseys are so much better.
Like the Jaguar Korea era.
Yes. Way better.
I'm sure there's other ones, but
yeah, there's a lot in hockey that. What do you like the Canucks black and yellow ones?
Yes, I do actually. Yeah,
like
not the ones with the V, like the Pavel Bure ones. Yeah, I like those a lot.
These,
those ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I like these.
Yeah. Another one, the Houston Oilers jerseys, like the kind of the powder blue for the NFL. Those are ones that I like a lot.
Canucks love like a radical logo change, eh? Because like they've had like 3 logos that are not even close.
Yeah.
Like the hockey stick, and then like just like the way.
Those ones are brutal. The seal, those are brutal.
These ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Killer
mind.
Whale or whatever that is.
I don't mind their ones now.
Yeah, those are fine.
But I like the yellow and black ones.
Mm-hmm.
They do wear those every now and then, I think.
Any others you wanna pull up? Just for some reflection.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
That's all right.
The old school Giants ones are good. The darker blue, like the Lawrence Taylor era.
Yeah.
I like those ones a lot.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we've over the last few months we've had a ton of sports, almost a little bit too much. But now 3 sports are down. So tune in to Name on the Front to talk about the NFL, the new kings in town. They've always been the kings.
There we go. I got it. I saved it. I saved it.
I like how you threw the Kings in there.